It's chess o'clock, and I am Turkish Films. We are going to be playing a game of chess today. And I know what you're thinking. Chess? You're going to play chess? The answer is yes. You know, I'm equally as shocked. You're the one that's watching the chess game. Alright. 1851 is my current rating. I was looking, I played in a chess tournament, and I won the first game, drew the last two. I really shouldn't have drawn the last two. At times there was winning opportunities that I just missed, and then other times I just played horrible moves. So the goal here is to play moves which are reflective of my skill level. Now, not all moves will be that way. Some moves will be better, some moves will be worse. I consider e6 here. A lot of times you'll see b6, Queen's Indian style. And so I like to wait on knight c3 and play bishop g2 first, just to try to discourage the diagonal from opening so quickly. This goes into fianchetto variation. Takes. Oh, I think... Do I just ignore it in the Catalan? That seems crazy, though. I don't think I do. If I push, it becomes a weird Benoni. I think I do push. I'm really not used to I haven't had this particular order before. I'm going to push and then play g2. This might be incorrect. Okay, it's like a Benko now. Oh no, this is very confusing to me. Oh, this is so confusing. I think the problem that he has, if I'm not mistaken, is that this works. And then he can't push. I have to go back. Oh no. Is there a takes, he takes, and I take here check, and then claim that I have an advantage? Because right now it just seems bad, right? He takes, I take with, he takes with the pawn. I take with the knight, he takes with the knight, I take with the bishop. And we're good. But e4 is always solid. I can't develop my knight to f3 because it would hinder the progress. Queen a5 is my concern in this position, although I don't think it's a concern. I like that his pawns are doubled and that they can't hurt me anymore. These pawns are kind of static for the rest of the game. Center is very loose. Knight e2 will come. Castling will come quickly. The goal of my Catalan is to castle fast. And then I can settle the center later. And I feel like he often has a lot of problems with this bishop. And so if I can kind of, in an accelerated manner, just kind of strike at him, I feel like this went okay. That I got e4 in makes me a lot more comfortable about the position overall. Center's still quite fluid. Yeah, center's still fluid. But I'm kind of thinking about where this bishop's going to go. Okay, he takes once. And I do take back here. I'm not worried about anything. Yeah, not worried about anything. Now, there's actually a serious question here. Because I was going to play knight e2, just be brain dead. The check here. Well, there's a couple checks, right? There's queen a4 check. And there's queen e2 check. Queen e2 check. And then I was going to say between knight e2 or knight h3, there's a difference. I think knight e2 unnecessarily blockades the center. And I want to be able to castle and get my rook right in there. And I think with knight h3, I can still get my knight to f4. So it's the same as knight e2. I just don't have the downsides. So there's several moves here that I'm considering. Knight a4, knight e2, knight e2, knight here. I haven't considered the bishop development. I don't think that castling queenside makes a lot of sense in this position. Although if my knight lands on a4, it does defend this backwards, and you can't hurt it with a pawn. Lots to think about. A lot to think about. Okay, checks, captures, threats. Queen a4. I think it just invites him to play knight b to d7, and I don't know why I did that. He got to develop, and I don't see what the knight's doing now that it couldn't have done before. So that just seems advantageous to him. I do get back this pawn. So if I don't want to be down a pawn, I can do that. But I can also do that after he plays bishop e7. So there's no rush on queen a4. We're going to just take this out of the running. Queen e2 gets rid of that option, but it does also win a pawn, assuming that he doesn't block with his queen. If he blocks with the queen, I can block with my bishop. That's a little bit complicated. And also I think just bishop e7. And my queen's not particularly well placed. I'm going to go knight h3. I'm running a little bit like lower on time than I want to be. I like this move. It kind of signals intentions at the king, which I am splitting my interest, right? Because I have this idea over here of making these queens in the future. This pawn's highly weak, and the idea is that I can take it at any moment. All right, he played this anyway, so I could have gotten this move in. Now I see an issue, which is that with this move, I can't go here because the knight goes there. Actually, I can because I can pin it. So I think if I don't take this pawn now, I think he'll keep it forever. So probably now I should take the pawn. Or do I castle first? So queen e2. He blocks with the queen. I block with the bishop, so I'm still attacking this. He puts his knight forward. I attack it, and then his knight hops into the square with check. Not excellent. We're going to castle. If he brings he brings forward. He wants to hold on to the pawn. Don't think that's actually the right plan. He's attacking this again, which is the truth. We're going to grab the check while we can. Pin. He unpins. I'm not sure. A4. A5 I think is a little bit slow. Also it lets my knight into an excellent center position. Here, now this pawn is going to be free. He has to move backwards. And now I can set up one attacker on this. And he let me have the pawn back. Okay, so we're not even down a pawn now. Not down a pawn, we have this far d5 pawn. He has this backward d6 pawn. We have some idea of attacking on the king side here in the future. Where do his pieces go? Clearly his knight wants to be on e5. And knight on e5 is actually a great piece. If my knight can end up on b5, that'd be good. I wonder if I can't play the move a6, or if I shouldn't have played a6 first. I think a6 first, right? Banishes the bishop forever. Forever? Forever. So a6 now. Yeah, this is why a6 was important earlier. Because now the bishop can go back this way. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I think I played this first. Nope, that hangs the pin. That's very bad for me. So I think we play a6 first. A6 lets his knight back in the game. Let's just leave this situation as it is. Let's let him put this here. His rook is aiming for the b4 square. We'll let him do that. If our bishop ends up on f5 and our knight lands up on b5, we got this kind of going for us. This bishop is so sad, and I want to keep it that way for as long as possible. But I also want to hurt this. So to hurt the center chances, am I willing to sack the exchange for it? We can just improve our pieces. No need to go crazy. Let's just improve our pieces. Our knight was on the rim. It was sad. Let's make it not sad anymore. Considering a move like b4. Okay, he's improving his pieces. This pawn here is the weakest one that he has. Knight here I kind of like. Takes, and we're opening up the path to his queen. That looks like a particularly weak square that we can hop into. It's still just this pin is so brutal. That pin is so brutal. So how do I take advantage of this? I think he wants to put his bishop backwards like this to defend the king some more, which is understandable. My bishop hasn't developed yet, but it's kind of doing a job right now. Does weakening this do anything? It highlights his weak pawn some more, but it also opens up the c5 square. Let's not help our opponent. I think now is the time for so many moves that I can play in this position. I'm kind of stuck. Chuck. We're gonna stop his knight from going to e5. He's gonna say he does want his knight on e5, which again understandable. F5 signals that I'm done with my great bishop aspirations, but I can pin first and then come back. I think him having lift here is not actually good for him. And now we can come back this way and we can attack it. This encourages this move. He can't push his king anymore, Whoa. Yeah, I thought I just said he couldn't do that, and then he did it, which makes me a little nervous. But I think he still can't even put his knight in the middle, like he wants to, because after takes. Oh, he takes with the rook. Yeah, I didn't see that he takes with the rook. I thought he takes with the pawn and then hangs this guy. But even if he takes with the rook, there's this. So probably my king goes to h1 soon. f4 is not actually a bad move. Yeah, I'm kind of a mind reader. Whoa. Oh, this pawn's not hanging because of the bishop? But the bishop's going to have too much work, I think, to do, you know? The bishop's going to be overworked. This is now attacked 3 times, the center pawn. Can we ever push it? We can't push it now, but hopefully we can push in the future. This rook isn't doing anything. This rook isn't doing anything. His knight is no longer an issue, so we're going to push this, forcing the bishop to move. If it stays on the diagonal, now that pawn's free, so we can go this way. But my pawn on b2 is a little bit hanging, and we don't want it to be hanging. Now, if I play b3, rook here, queen back, this pawn hangs. So he's got a little bit of a point here. That's my least favorite part, when they have a little bit of a point. So we have to defend this again. Dang it. Yeah, this is not great. There's great and there's not great. And I'm feeling that this is the latter. We can all out attack on the king. We can try to f4 the situation, just blow everything up. Takes. It's not going to work. Maybe we just get rid of this pawn. Is there a tactical justification for it? I think this is a tactical justification. So we are going to bring this rook over. And then if he tries to go for the free pawn, we're going to go knight a4, claiming we get our compensation back with this. Also, his rook will be muddy exposed. I think h4 on the horizon is also important. I'm very low on time. I need to play a lot quicker. Also, I just need to play longer time controls. Like, what am I doing playing 10-minute chess? Yeah, 10-minute chess is not the move. I think definitely h4, even if we provoke this pawn forwards, that's beneficial, I think. Yeah, I feel like his position is not so cohesive, not so held together. It's mostly just consulsive pressure here. We said we're going to play knight a4. And yeah, there's a pin, but I think this is defended a lot. I think it's defended a lot. Dang it. I didn't see that. Oh, it sucks. Oh, it's pinned again. Oh no, and then queen a4, and then rook a1, and then he takes the center, and I just lose. Dang it. Brutal. It was queen c2. I guess just knight a4 is wrong. Yeah, this is brutal. This is the worst thing in chess history. This is so suck. At least now the knight can move. So knight here is on the cards, on the table. I've reopened the threat. So I'm just losing the center pawn. I'm already down a pawn. King safety is not going to matter when the queens are off and the queens are coming off. Was that necessary? Yeah, no, I don't have this. I thought I might. Now I do. Now I have bishop d2. If I get to play bishop d2, like if you play some random move. Is this a random move? Is bishop d2 winning? At least the exchange, right? Oh, he grabbed the center. He blocked off the center, so now he can take this pawn. Oh, he's too clever for me. Alright, we just go like this. We just go like this. We're attacking his queen. We're going to try to plug it up. Plug it up with knight b7. He's not going to let that happen. He's going to take with the bishop. I'm going to lose the center pawn. Then the argument is whether I can capture a7, which I will be intending on doing. So here, still holding on to a6. a6 is a bad pawn for me right now. I do like this. A lot. He takes with the bishop first, though. He didn't. He didn't take with the bishop first. And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I kind of need this bishop to win the pawn and like the game and stuff. But I'm sort of happy about how this goes. Because now his a7 pawn is a target. My light square bishop is so bad. How does my light square bishop even get better? Yeah, this is not a great position. Dang it. I really need to, like, I need to figure out, like, I'm consistently losing games. You know? It's not just, like, once in a while, it's, like, often. And my opponents aren't getting better and better and better, I don't think. I think I'm just getting worse and worse and worse. We have a target. Rats. This is the worst game ever. This is so bad. Like, this is the hope? Or something. Oh, he's gonna play something sick, isn't he? Yeah. Dang it. Just G4 crush all my dreams. Ugh, H5 crush all my dreams. H5 crushes my dreams so hard. It's just like this. Right? I have like here to cover. Yeah, I think the next move has to be rook a5. Let him try to grab the fake tempo and then I come back this way. My bishop is just... Ugh. I didn't used to be bad at chess. I didn't used to be. I got all the way up to 2000. But now it's just gone downhill. I'm seeing rook d6, and I'm seeing h5 as the viable moves. Ugh. h5 just feels like it hurts me so bad. My bishop is just living in an eternal state of misery. Like, because then I really have to do like a swapperoo. Oh, he's preemptive too. Alright, we're going to start to sneak in this way. Do a little sneaky sneak. Probably not the best, but I had to not lose on time. You know what? I actually like that move a lot for me. If he wants to try to hurt the bishop like forever, ever, he's allowed. That's not what I expected. Nope, don't play that. Oh, he can play it. Shoot. Okay. We're going to try to go to check city. Okay, attacking pawns. Probably he pushes. Hey, that's not bad. Oh, that's bad. Let's go this way. No. So much bad. Wow! Wow! Wait! 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 This might be a draw. Wait, do I have to play precisely? I don't have to play precisely. It's a draw. It's a draw. Wow. Wow, I drew. Except a draw, yes. Oh my gosh. He offered me a draw with 10 seconds left. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I was so dead. I was so dead. And he was just tactical oversight. Never resign. Never resign. And I'm gonna be so upset when I look at the game review. I'm gonna be so mad. Now we're gonna do our own analysis. We're not gonna ask the computer what's up. We're gonna try to figure this out. I'm not gonna spend a super long time on this. But just generally, where did I think things went wrong? I'm not used to this line. I don't think I've ever faced c5 after g3. I get a little sketched out in the opening because you can just lose so quickly, you know? And I think I like g3 against e6 so much that I'm just going to learn how c5 works. I thought pushing, and it's kind of Benoniville. If we don't, the issue is, I think, just takes. Whoops. The issue is if you don't, if you just play regular Catalan style, takes, and then you just give him tempo, and then this is just, don't do that, right? This is just bad. It's just unnecessary development that you're giving him, so you have to stop that. There is a question of, is knight f3 a reasonable alternative? I want to play knight f3 in every variation, so knight f3 might work. Although I'm not like super thrilled here either, right? Yeah, I don't think this is super great. I generally feel like the computer doesn't like g3 and then not playing bishop g2, but that's just the sense that I personally get. It could be totally incorrect. And then just Benko style. This seems like if there's a refutation, I win. And it's too early, obviously, it's still the opening. But I'm curious of if takes here works. Because then I'm threatening this and the check. So in this position, if I take this, then the idea is that he would try to get my rook, but then I have the check, right? And let's try to turn the evaluation off just for now so we can get a little bit better, because the idea is here. Okay, he's going to take that back. And then I can develop my knight. And then I can develop my bishop, and then I can castle my castle, right? And I don't see any something really serious stopping that from happening. And like here or something, and he's not gonna take that, right? But this is like I don't really get the danger. So the idea is that there's some other reason why taking here is so bad. Taking here is super bad. And the reason is not that he's gonna attack the rook. There's the check, and we block it. We don't care about that. Also, every move that's not check, we just take. Every move that's not check, we just take. If he takes here, I take this first. I step in front, and I win the rook. Taking d captures e6 is bad because of f6. Don't see why I can't block. Takes the center. I take, and then maybe he just pins back. Then I hop in front. I don't know what to do, dude. What's this position saying? I need help. I'm not smart enough. My idea was in this position, d captures e6. D captures e6. And computer's like, no, you're bad. And let's look for lines. Let's ask. Yeah, f a6, right. F a6 is all good. Obviously, you took bishop g2. d5, exactly what I said. I'm going to take on d5. And it says don't reverse pin, but just ed5. Now we can just evaluate this position. Once again, let's turn off the computer. And let's just evaluate. I tell my students to do SPAC. So you look at space, pieces, whose turn is it, center control, king safety. So space. So who would you rather have starting the game in this position? Right now it's white's turn. So black has a lot of space and a big push on the queen side. He has 4-2 on the queen side. So this is where he's going to make a queen, right? This is Queensville. Black Queen USA is these squares right there. You can argue white has the same thing on the king side, right? But notice that these are not mobilized, right? And these pawns are supposed to be used to protect the king, so they can't be pushed up to make a queen right away. Also, if we both castle king side, there's not going to be a queen on this side of the board. So I can kind of see why giving black these moves, giving these these 4 moves, 3 free pawn moves, and a knight move. And I have just fee and countered a bishop. That's all I've done. I've played like 1, 2, and it's like he's had 4 moves. I don't think that balances out. And I think the longer we let this sit, it said the opposite. It says that he's doing well. What lines does it possibly give? Knight c3 is literally the last move I would think of. Knight c3 seems so bad to me. A million ways. Okay, obviously not d5. Okay, bishop g5. It's just saying we're sort of active? Yeah, so bishop g5, knight c3, bishop f6, knight h3, knight f4. It's all just like super active, just go really aggro mode. Because notice, his king's not feeling too good. One advantage I have, if I'd gone through the list, he has more space than we do. Piece-wise, I have the turn and a strong bishop, right? So I have the move. So it's my move, and I have one extra piece development then in that case. Center control clearly goes to black. He has two pieces controlling the center like we do. One cool thing about knights can attack like one or two center squares, and bishops can also attack one or two center squares. So it's pretty easy. You just kind of count the knights, count the bishops, and that's the answer. Queens defend it the same, but he has an extra pawn in the middle, so he's just defending the center more. Yeah, bishop g5 here apparently is good enough. It's just rushing. I guess if we take, I don't see the problem. Here, bishop e7. Oh, sorry, bishop e7 is this way. Then knight c3, bishop b7, bishop f6, bishop f6, knight h3, knight a6, castles. Yeah, that we get a castle in this game makes me a lot more comfortable, because we're kind of saying this is a lot of pawns. This is a lot of pawns to carry around. So I'll also look at this more. But yeah, so f6 was not good anyway. But then I looked at the line, it said it was good, so I'm confused. But anyway, bishop g2, what I played. He takes. Let's look at this, if this is correct here. Okay, d5, it says it's correct. Is this a book opening? This is. Yeah, c5. How high does c5 rate on the scale? Okay, c5's, it's not the top, it's like 1/4 of the top played move. So most of the time it's g3. g3 I face a lot. I face knight c6 a lot actually, which is weird. d5 is definitely the most common that I've seen. Yeah, d5 is the most common that I've seen in a long, like by a large shot. Okay, d5. All right. Now we're on our own. But I played b5, and b5 computer says it, right? Computer saw it. It's a weird gambit. Okay, yeah, it sees b5 as a move. I feel like this is something that they would study, right? Because it's just two moves in, and then all they do is just be weird. They see g3 and they just be weird. That's like Benko. Bishop g2. It says we're fine here. It says e4. I can play e4 now. Oh, I can play e4 now. Yeah, this is where it goes downhill, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, just give everything up. Because I can play e4 now. I always think about e4 as being defended by a knight. Like, every single time. I think if you want to play e4, play queen c2 or play knight c3. Those are the two ways to play e4. That's what I think of in my head. The bishop is right there. e4 makes so much sense in this position. Wow, that's a huge weak spot that I had. I didn't realize that you could play e4 by other moves. Kind of e4 I sometimes don't want to play, because I feel like it hinders my bishop, right? Like e4, e5. And now this bishop is sad, right? But in that position, computer's going to be like, you're happy, dude. Because his bishop, like, look at this bishop. Not great. There's great and there's not great. Also, pawn, like, yeah. e4, I just wasn't thinking. So I developed my pieces. And bc4 came. And now the center is under fire by 3 pieces. Takes. But there's always the queen a4 or queen a5, I think, to hinder the knight. e4 now, very sensible. It's a feel-good move. Yep, take with the pawn, d6, and we just develop. I decided knight h3. This was the interesting point. This is where I really was screaming. Bishop f4. I understand. Probably just this, right? If bishop f4, what do we do? I'm just curious. I think we go back to e3. That'd be my guess. Oh, it's a free knight. And I just never see it. Again, there's another blind spot. I'm starting to, when I do analysis like this, I start to notice problems like, oh, he's going to take this. But he won't. He can't do that. So I need to see what the blunders my opponent can make are, so that I can play moves that those blunders would disallow, if that makes any sense. Okay, knight f3 is better. Actually, I think just the advantage is gone here. There's no advantage. Yeah, it's starting to shift. Pretty bad. a4 early. There's lots of plans here. I want this pawn back, actually. Now, do I want the pawn back? I do, personally, me, but I'm also not good at chess. Queen e2, bishop e7, rook e1, putting extra pressure on this piece. Knight c8, only way to defend it. He has to go back home where he came from. That's so sad. And now we take this. So we basically undo his move and get the pawn. So it's saying, imagine you have the position where his knight is here. Oh, it didn't undo the move. You made him do lots of moves. So he did a whole cycle. Our queen's there, and now it's his move, which obviously held castle. And then our bishop comes forward, probably to f4. Yeah. What does it say? In this position, does it say f4 at the end of the line after castles? Where's the line? Queen e2, bishop e7, rook e1, knight c8, queen c4, castles, queen d3. Queen d3. See, it's weird moves like that I just wouldn't ever consider. I don't know what it's doing. I see that it's looking this way, so that maybe there's a knight g5. But that just seems like artificial to me. That doesn't seem like a real play. And also I see that it's actually starting to hop out of the way of the knight coming back. So maybe these two things together are what justifies it. But it's trying to make up its mind between rook e1 and queen e2. Okay, it says rook e1. Now it says queen e2. So it can't decide. So being stuck is real. I dismissed rook e1 really quickly. Yeah. Okay. I think a5 is good. Yeah, a5 is good. Here. Bishop f4. It's just moving your pieces, you know? Bishop f4, f4 are the moves it's thinking of. Castles I took. Knight to e5 I thought he would play for sure. They seem random. Am I supposed to play a6 here? What does it think? So it's 0.36, 0.3, whatever. 0.7. Alright, black's doing quite well. And a6. This is really bad. Because bishop c8. And I think I can't even take this. 95. Yeah, I guess that's just a liability in the end. Also, the queen comes in and just takes it. So I'm glad I didn't play it, but I felt like here, I felt like I should have played it. I thought it was good. Send the bishop back home, but it just gives up such an important square. Okay, I gotta be more square oriented. Rook e1, what's good here? Rook e1. I understand the concept of developing your pieces and attacking the opponent's pieces. Like, I fully get that. In my head, it just looks like the bishop's bad. Maybe it's just that it's an open file and just always do that crap, like, every time you can. Probably that's what's up. Knight d3. Hey, did I play chess move? That was good. Let's go. Knight d3, best move. It always feels weird to play backwards moves. I just knew that 95 was uncomfortable. We're just consolidating. My knight did a weird thing. Did a weird maneuver, but it's in the middle of the board now. Okay, bishop c8 and b4 should be played. Oh, wow. Yeah, b4 should be played. If I played b4, I was even a little bit better. Oh my gosh. b4, cb4, knight b4. Rook c8, queen d3. Queen b3. Oh, queen b4 I like a lot. Like that. And then he plays a6. If I can get him to play a6, that's great. Squares for me. There's something that I'd like to think about. I wonder how much it plays into chess. A move like a6. What I see is that these knights are far away from getting to this square. Like this knight's far away. This knight is just two moves, right? But the proximity to these squares is like a thing you have to keep track of. He can't get to that square. So then that seems like, oh, well then a6 is an easier move to play. Oh yeah, it's tactically. Is it even? Yeah, it's tactically defended. That if you keep track of how close are these knights to here, then he's more likely to give this up because your knights will never get there. But it actually takes like 3 moves, let's say. 1, 2, 3, and he's there, right? So it's 4 moves to get there. So if I can keep track of in the rest of the position when and how when and how do I get 4 moves for free? When do I get the position stable enough that I have 4 moves? I have to kind of ensure that he has no threats that take less than 4 moves to execute. And if that's the case, then I should induce a move like a6, because then I can get my knight to a square. I'm not sure that I actually want to go there right now, but that's the idea. Anyway, this game has been analyzed quite a lot more than I normally analyze games. As a brief run through, yeah, e4 here is very important. E4 here is great. I should have played that now that I see it, but I was just fixed and thinking that the knight is the only one that can play e4, that can make e4 happen. Okay, this is all fine. Knight h3 is unnecessarily cautious. We executed our plan. We took the pawn. Brought our knights to good squares. Developed our bishop. Exposed his king, which I thought was quite good. Sacked a pawn. Blundered. This was a huge oversight. I just want to see, is sacking the pawn good, or what do we do here? Bishop captures c5. We take this pawn now. I don't know if I didn't see it or if I was just worried. Oh, there's nothing to worry about, Holmes. You're safe. Bishop c5. Yeah, I even mentioned that if I take this, then I can take this guy. And I just didn't play it. I played a6 first, which exposed an attack for no reason. This is cringe, right? Like, I said, like, and there's the plan in the video of, okay, and in knight e5, I can take that, and he has to stick with the rook to keep the tension, otherwise he drops the c5 pawn. And then he did, and I was like, oh, okay. And then instead of taking the c5 pawn, which is what I just said, I played a6 first, revealing an attack that he didn't have before. Like, that's brutal. Also, knight e4 here is apparently good. Knight e4 here is good. Yeah, drops a piece. That's kind of a cool tactical move. And it's not hard to see. You're bringing your pieces to the middle, you're adding more attack, and you're starting to damage his king. Like, it's a very logical move, I think. Also sitting in front of one of his furthest pawns. But I just didn't look at it. I just didn't consider it seriously. I played a6. Like, that's weird. That's such a bad move. Probably plus... I think it might be +2. It's saying +1 now, but I think it's going to go up. Yeah, plus 1.5. Yeah, this is such a good position. And I felt like it was, too. And then I just ruined it. a6. Now it's gone. All the advantage left. Here, take the free pawn that you earned. And then a5 just is brutal. Now he's just winning. It happens in such a short period of time. Yeah. Was this redemption here? Was e4 not good? I felt like e4 was not the way to go. Knight c5, queen a2. Yeah, rook a2, knight takes in the center. Knight d7. Knight d7. Because there's forks. Yeah, I wasn't thinking clearly and the game's over. Oh, rook f5 first. Yeah, rook f5 is way better. Stopping this, keeping an eye here, and then also trying to slither back this way. And this doesn't matter. This is just, yeah, plus a million. Haters, it's a lie, but plus a million. There you go. Now we're getting to plus a million. Plus 60. Plus 70. Plus 100. What announce mate? It'll announce mate. You just get it a little bit. And this is it right here. Mate in 12. I still lose. Rook b2. Oh, of course I still lose. He just saves the pawn. He does anything he wants to do. Right? He does anything he wants. Just like this. Yeah, no threats. Now it's a draw. He's still winning. I was so nervous. Like, I literally pre-moved after taking this. I pre-moved putting my bishop back, and I was like, why? I should have pre-moved king f3. Such a small difference, but it would have been smarter to pre-move this in case for some reason I miscalculated and he could have gone here. And all I have to make sure is that he doesn't take my bishop. Yeah, just go here. If the king ever starts to move back this way, you just come this way instead. So I probably could have alternated. There's an algorithm for that. About how, and I wish I could do that. Like, that'd be so cool in these situations. If I just knew immediately, okay, he's there. So if I count only king moves that chase me, it's 1, here, there, and then it doesn't matter. I think that the situation is like you go like this. The problem is that he'll just wait for me over here. And once I see that, I have to stop pre-moving. There's no pre-move strategy that works infinitely. But also the bishop doesn't have to stay connected to the pawn. So I could have just done this. That would have been so much smarter. That would have been so much smarter. If I had gone bishop here, bishop here, bishop here. No. No. Guys, you have to help me. You have to help me when I say stupid things. Look at this. I can just go back and forth like this. There's nothing to think about. There's literally nothing to think about. And I can pre-move that with my mouse 100,000 times. And I can pre-move it 50 times. And it will play at 50 moves until 50 move repetition. And if it takes 1/10 of a second each time, that's 5 seconds from now. And I'll have 6.7 seconds left at 50 moves. And there's nothing he can do to stop it. Oh, wow. I'm so bad at chess, yo. Alright, well, this has been chess.com. They said I can use their website to play chess. And so I am. And OBS said you can use our software, and I am. And then YouTube's going to let me post this video, hopefully. And so you guys will see it. That's all. If you guys want chess tutoring from someone that's as good at chess as me, I'm so sorry. You should probably not. But if you do, comment. Let me know, and I can do chess lessons for you. I will give chess people that say Turkish Films Chess is my favorite channel one free 30-minute lesson in chess. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you on the flippity.